this is Manley with verticallessons.com. In this video, I want to give you 2 quick and easy ways to help reset your mind so that you can build momentum and get restarted in the right direction, whatever you're trying to accomplish. And this is especially helpful right now as we're transitioning into a new year after a very traumatic year as well. But it can be helpful anytime at all. The first thing I want to invite you to do is to sit down and set a timer for just 5 minutes. It's only going to take 5 minutes, but if you're willing to do this little exercise, I guarantee you it's going to help reset and create a shift in your focus and in your emotions. When you can shift your focus and your emotions, it's going to create momentum in your mind and help you get a head start on the day, the week, the month, the year, and help you just let go of some of the frustrations and all the things we've been focused on. So the first thing I want you to do is, again, set the timer, grab a pen and a piece of paper or a pencil, old school tools. This is really, really helpful in actually just physically writing this out. And I want you to sit down with that 5-minute timer and for 5 minutes just brainstorm back on 2020 in this example, month by month. If you use your calendar, if that's helpful, to remind yourself of all the little and the big summits and successes you had in 2020 as an example. Make sure you include the little summits. And in a normal year, there may be things on your list that in a normal year wouldn't make the list. But because of the nature of this chaos and the pandemic and everything that's gone on in our lives and the world recently, don't overlook little moments. Maybe it was a 3-day staycation or snow day with your kids, or a presentation at work that would have normally not been a big deal, but because it was virtual or because you had to reinvent the way you did something at work, little successes can be really significant at this time, and of course big ones too. So I think what you'll find when you do this, if you just brainstorm it out, don't judge them, just little ones, big ones, and then at the end of the 5 minutes, and if you've got some momentum going at the end, you can of course go longer than 5 minutes, but as little as 5 minutes can generate a lot of perspective. When you read it back, I think that's what you're going to find. You're going to find perspective, and you're going to feel a positive shift in your focus and your emotions. This will set you up for a much more optimistic view into whatever's next. The second thing I want to invite you to do is I wanted to invite you to consider a question that I evaluated myself. And the question is this: for everything you consume on a daily basis, especially in that couple hours at the beginning of the day and a couple hours at the end of the day, I want you to ask this question: does this enrich or improve my life in some way? I want to invite you to be more intentional about what we consume and how that affects and dramatically just continually builds a certain mindset and perception on how life is and how things are going. For me, this yielded a pretty obvious action item for me, and that is to reduce my media consumption. News specifically, social media I've been pretty good at minimizing in the recent years, but I've been a no news person for many years. Like for 15 years, I rarely ever watched the news, very little headline skimming. I really tried to avoid what was going on. Unless there were major events, I would tune in and try to be informed, but I really try to avoid getting caught up in the day-to-day and that cycle. And this year I got caught up in it, and obviously a lot going on, a lot of important things we need to be aware of. But as you've probably experienced, I don't care which side of the media outlets you like to absorb, they're in the business of keeping our attention and scaring us and freaking us out. And even if it's truth or reality or not, it just starts to really build up in our minds, even in ways we can't even really aren't consciously aware of. So just ask that question. And I want to just tell you, don't watch less news. Listen to me. You're probably going to say, screw you, I enjoy my news. I just want you to ask that question. At what point, so I'm not saying you don't have to quit the news completely even, but at what point are you informed, and then does it slip into a loop or robbing you of precious time, or even more critically, you're starting to build a perspective that's maybe not serving you in the way that you want it to. So just consider that. Again, the question is, does this improve or enrich my life in some way? Specifically, for me, that yielded an action and an initiative to consume less news and less social media. So build your Celebrate the Summits list. I call it the retroactive Celebrate the Summits list. Small summits, big ones, successes, all the little things you can possibly gather up looking back to help you reset in a perspective way and drive some positive momentum. And then look at what you're feeding your mind, especially those hours, beginning of the day and the end of the day, are incredibly powerful, and that's proven. We know this, that it dramatically affects our mindset and how we perceive the world and how we move forward and take action. I want to encourage you as well. I know this has been an incredibly demanding and challenging year for all of us, and my heart goes out to you if you've lost anyone or been directly affected by COVID. And then even if you didn't lose someone, but I want you to not discredit that either, and know that whatever you went through this year, that it's been traumatic and it's been hard on all of us, and just know that you've got what it takes to get through it. I really believe we've turned the corner on this, and if we made it through the last year, we can make it through what's ahead in 21, and we know there's a lot of good things on the way, like the vaccines, to help us have a successful 2021. And I wish you the best. I hope this is the best year ever for you. And I appreciate you watching this video, listening to any of my content, sharing it with people in your life you think it might be helpful. Thank you. I'm on belay for you, and I look forward to staying in touch with you.